What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I just got over here to Mike's shop. We're going to work on the big block just a little bit. I'm going to show you what we got going on. Still waiting on connecting rods. Hopefully they'll be here in the next couple weeks. But we got things we got to do and mock up and get some clearances and stuff. And I was going to give you an update on Mike's car too. If y'all want to support the channel, go to turbojohnracing.com. Comment, like, and subscribe. If y'all want to go join in on our weekly live chats, we do those every Wednesday night. You need to become a member. There's a join button on my main page. It's like $5 a month. We have fun every Wednesday night. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. Well, check this thing out. If y'all remember last time we were over here, this was gone. It was replaced. Mike, what's going on? What happened?
Oh, well, we took it out to Pete's. Procharger ruptured. Took it off, put it in the box, sent it back to Procharger. They called me Tuesday of last week and said that the Procharger was totally destroyed.
Right.
A bearing, I guess the front bearing come apart, and the impeller touched down, ruined the volute, sent material, shrapnel all through it, busted the gears in the back. They couldn't come up with a reason for why it broke other than the bearing.
Right.
And they said there was nothing they could do to fix it, so they sent me a brand new one.
Free of charge.
Free of charge.
Under warranty.
Under warranty.
Because you just had it repaired.
Just had it repaired.
That's right. So that's what we didn't know. I mean, if you go on their website, I don't know if Procharger talks about a warranty or anything. It broke. He sent it in. They fixed it. Got it all back together.
And they did not replace the impeller. They used my original.
Gotcha. And they probably used all the gear set and all that because it looked like it was fine.
It looked like it was fine.
So probably most likely what happened is when they repaired it, there probably was a stress fracture or crack or something somewhere in the gear set or something that they just didn't catch. Probably just, I mean, sometimes you get stress cracks and you can't see them. And so, but I was super happy when you said that it was going to be replaced for free.
That makes two of us.
Right.
I had called Bob over at Brute Speed, and you know, because that's where I bought it from. Because I'm not a dealer, so you have to buy it from a dealer. And I gave him the scenario, and he said, "Well, let me call out there and talk to them guys."
Right.
And then he emailed me back, and he said, you know, that it was back there being worked on, and you know, they would give me an update later in the day. So I started talking to him about if it's destroyed and it ain't covered, and I got to buy another Procharger. So we were looking at the F3 D106.
Right.
And then we went down that rabbit hole, and they weren't giving me no updates. And then finally, when they called and said yes, they're going to replace it for free of charge, blah blah blah, and send it back to me. And I said, well, what about taking it on trade for the F3? And the guy's like, no, we ain't doing that.
Right, we will replace it, but we ain't gonna give you no upgrades.
We're not giving you an upgrade. I was like,
but huge shout out to Procharger. I mean, it costs $2,800 to get it fixed. And, you know, we only made a few pulls on it. So a lot of companies, it's a race car world, and there is no warranty. When you get it back, it's gone. So, I mean, huge shout out to Procharger. Very impressed that they done that. So, can't thank them enough. And this is the same F1X. It's not the -12. So this thing's ready to go. His fuel pump is still leaking. Turns out one of the seals that he needed accidentally got not put in the seal case. So, or in the rebuild kit, and that, of course, that's the one that's leaking. That's what the way that works, right? Yeah. So, Alky Digger is working on that, getting him another seal. So, he's going to be trying to test this weekend if the weather holds out. Mm-hmm. And so, I'll be taking my car to NPK in Virginia next weekend. So, if y'all are local, we'll be doing that. Mike may be there as well, depending on how it runs. Which, if you don't get a test this weekend, you'll probably be at NPK most likely. Imagine.
Unless I blow the motor up between now and then,
right.
We're going.
Which there are some private testings at Galot and stuff during the week. So, I mean, he might jump in one of those as well. But the NPK stuff, he'll end up taking off the radials and putting on a set of slicks.
I think all we're going to do is when the seal gets here, supposedly tomorrow afternoon, I'll pull the pump off, put the seal back in it, fire it up, make sure it ain't leaking, put the body back on it. We're going to load it up in the trailer, and if we don't get it to the track, we'll get it to NPK, and then I'm going to take Pete's tune. I'm going to load that tune and add a little fuel to it and rock on.
All right, there you go. I mean, because he's tuned it up to, what, with 21 pounds of boost with the little blower?
21.
And that one's going to, on the dyno, it made 30, 32, 20? Yeah, before it broke.
I don't think we looked.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we looked. It just come apart, and we just said the hell with it and took it off, and then
right.
that was the end of it.
So that's good news. So Mike's is back together. So we're going to work on my big block a little bit today. We just got it unbagged. When we went up to Summit, we bought us a Summit Racing harmonic balancer. I know a lot of people don't like Summit, but this is exactly what I've got on my car right now. And I'm not unhappy with it. I was going to get me another ATI. This one is the one that come on the motor. It's just, I mean, it's a good balancer, but it's just a little worn. So this one's about the same size. It's like $169. The only thing it does, I don't like about it necessarily is, you know, it's only got 60 degrees of marks here, but they are marked. So that's 90 degrees and that's 180 degrees. So you can do the math. What I'll do is I'll do the math on how far that is at 10 degrees, quarter inch or so. And I will give me another mark right here and I'll go 195 because that's where you want to set up your pickup when you're doing your crank trigger stuff. So we got that balancer. Still waiting on the rods, of course. Heads are ready. Got my oil pan back from Mike. We got this elbow. This is what we're going to use for the intake. We got the Holley intake, the EFI intake that we're going to use. Amazon throttle body. Biggest thing with this is making sure these, there's a couple things you can do. You can take these screws out or you can leave them in there. I usually put Allen screw in it, but the biggest thing is making sure that you either tack weld these on the back where they come through or you burr them up pretty good. They don't really stick out a ton, so I'll probably end up staking those or get longer ones. I may just pull them out. The other thing with this cheap throttle body, what you have to do, this piece right here on the side, you just pull this thing out, easy enough, and then you just tap that hole and put tap it 1/8 inch NPT, and then you're set. That actually goes up here to this port right here. Don't know exactly what it does because it's not under vacuum. We probably won't be using any of this stuff, but that's a regular GM TPS sensor, so pretty easy stuff. We also got Mike's over here doing some grinding on it now. We're about to. We got the fuel pump drive that's going to go off of the camshaft, and that's pretty easy. We got this from Alky Digger. It literally bolts right here. You'll put a little bit of silicone right here on this attachment, and my fuel pump will bolt right here. And so this will just literally, it just goes right on. And boop. And of course that's upside down, but then my fuel pump will mount here, and there'll be nothing driven off of the crankshaft. So I'm pretty excited about that. We have to cut that off. They do this because of engines that don't run water. We are going to run water, so we want to have that. I'm not going to put a regular water pump on it, of course. I'll do it like my small block Chevrolet. I'll put the billet blocks on it, and then I'll run the lines out of it so that we're good to go. What else did we get? Summit. We got some studs to go in this. This is part of that kit as well. This comes from Alky Digger. This is how you set cam in play. That goes on there, and then it's got all these little bushings, and then that's how you set your camshaft in play. So I'm gonna play with my fuel oil pump. We're gonna go ahead and get the oil pump mounted on it temporarily. The reason we're gonna do that is the oil pump the shaft that Jerry and them had in it was it was a little ground down. And so I bought a regular big block Chevrolet pump, and it was a lot longer. The new one's on the left, and the one that they had is on the right. So that's probably like for a tall deck. So what I'm thinking possibly is his intake. The way his intake was set up, that was reason that was longer. But you see, I mean, these things are a wear item. I mean, they're not going to last you forever. So that's the reason we bought another one. So we're going to set all this up, play with that. Go ahead and play with the cam in timing. The other thing I need to do is this oil pan actually was not on the motor that Jerry had. This was an oil pan that he just got on a deal that he had, and he gave me a choice. Did I want a steel one or did I want this great big aluminum one? So I told him I wanted the aluminum one since I had a choice. Love that oil pan. And then we need to check the clearance between the oil pump and the bottom of the pan. The oil pump we have is... he gave me a choice as well. It's a Moroso pump, so that's a really nice pump. We need to take this thing apart and clean it. It was in the fire in Brian's shop, so we got to clean it. We're going to take it apart real fast, just make sure there's nothing in it. I sprayed it all with brake clean, And then I sprayed it down with WD-40 as well. I mean, it spins fine, feels good, but we just need to clean it just to make sure. All right, guys, so Mike has got this thing clearanced. He done a good job on this. He cut the ears off of it and clearanced it, and that fits absolutely perfect. It makes it so that I can put my water pump bosses on it there. I've got the oil pump completely disassembled and cleaned and put back in. The other thing I did is, if you look down in there, you can see there's a couple washers down there. So this is the oil pump bypass. This is what controls pressure. And so there's a little valve inside there, and basically I just put 2 little thin grade 8 washers in there to help space it out. So we spaced it probably another 40 thousandths total. So that should give us another 10 or 15 pounds of oil pressure. I don't know what kind of oil pressure this thing had. There was a little bit of gouging in here. This is a used pump. We were also just working on the oil pan. And one way you can, we got to open those holes up just a tad to get this to kind of clearance a little bit. It fits, but these studs, it's amazing there's not so many studs that are holding this on, but it's just wild. So we're going to open those holes up just a little bit so it slides down easy. We need to check the actual distance here on the oil pump pickup, and it's real easy to do. All you got to do is measure from the block to here, and then you measure the same down in the pan from the block down, and you want somewhere between 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. There's a lot of people that say run more than that. I mean, you know, you don't want to, if you get it too close, they say it'll cause cavitation if the pan is really, really, really close. And I've done that before. You get the pickup really, really, really close, but
Or you buy that cheap Chinese oil pan and it sucks.
And it sucks it up. Oh, that would suck, wouldn't it? So we've made some good progress tonight. I guess we're about done for tonight. For the most part, we'll clean the pan, open those holes up, and we'll measure it. We did pop it down on there. It's just kind of hard to get down on there. And we had plenty of clearance. You could tap on it. It definitely was not hitting. But we're going to see exactly how much we got. I guess you could hold it up to the side and kind of eyeball it too. But all right, guys. Well, we done for tonight. So, Mike, I appreciate you giving me a hand and helping me out. His is ready to go other than doing the fuel pump, which hopefully that seal will be here tomorrow. All right, guys. Comment, like, and subscribe. See y'all later.